All right. Obviously, getting ready for senior day, um, honor days, and Penson. We have a huge game, quad one opportunity against Alabama at home. Late in the year, chance to improve our NCAA tournament seeding, chance to improve our SEC tournament seeding. So we have a lot. We have a lot on the line. Disappointed in the outcome on Wednesday night, but I think we're playing better basketball, playing much better basketball, and we've got to continue that momentum and carry it over and finish some of these games out. We just got to be a lot more solid defensively in the 6 minute game.
You said the other night you thought you were really close to playing like you had played early in the season. After seeing the tape, do you still feel that you headed in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played. I thought we played really well. I thought we played really well. I thought we played extremely hard, which was the number one key. I thought we played extremely hard. We had some things go against us there at the end, but I thought we played hard. We gave ourselves a great opportunity in a tough environment. And like I said, we've just got to be more solid in the 6 minute game defensively. But if you look, we only turned the ball over 10 times. Our free throws were much better. We out rebounded them. Like, we did a lot of really, really good things. We just didn't get the result we wanted. But I think, we played much better against Missouri. We played a really good half at Kentucky. We kind of gave it, we gave it back in the second half. So I think there's definitely some progress and some momentum there, but we've got to continue that. Just because we played well at Arkansas, it was a gut punch with the way that thing ended. We've got to pick ourselves back up and continue that tomorrow against a really good Alabama team, a team we hadn't beaten in a while. And we've got to continue that. But I do feel I didn't feel like we were playing great a couple weeks ago. I feel like we're really close and a lot closer to playing how we need to play.
You've talked about Days and Pinson both at different times in the year. Could you just kind of reiterate what you've said about their importance and, Days being kind of the smoother over to transition guy to help you kind of facilitate guys coming in, and Pinson sacrificing what he has?
Yeah, I mean, Days, he's last of a dying breed. There's going to be very few, players in power conferences that are at the same school for 4 years that play a meaningful role, which is what he did, which is what he's done. And so he's been just tremendous for us. The leadership he's provided. It's gotten kind of scary this year. He kind of knows what I'm thinking. He walked by me in practice the other day and winked at me because he knew what I was trying to do, to push somebody's buttons and grind their gears a little bit to get them going. He winked at me. He's like, "I know what you're doing." And so, he kind of knows. He knows me pretty well. So, but he's been awesome. And X, like I said, X has sacrificed a lot for our team this season. I think there's, he can certainly play really well for us here down the stretch. But I think there's a noticeable difference when he's out there and when he's not out there, with how our team looks, how our team is run, and just how his calming presence and calming influence has on our group.
You kind of mentioned the turnovers. Really, the last several games, those have seen a pretty drastic dip. I mean, just going back and looking at past games, what do you think has been the biggest cause for why you guys have not turned the ball over as much recently?
Well, if you look at it too, even in the Arkansas game, we turned it over 10 times. I mean, 3 of them were, charges. The number's really a little bit lower than that. We've cut down on some of the crazy passes. We've cut down on our interior passes. We're pivoting better. We're stronger with the ball. All that stuff's just a lot cleaner and a lot better. Most of our turnovers now are charges, travels, things of that nature, which are a little bit easier to correct.
Coach, another noticeable improvement during the Arkansas game was the free throw shooting 18 of 19 from the free throw line. I mean, what was the biggest key to fixing that at this point of the season?
Well, we've been working on it. We work on it every day. We've got good shooters. I think I said it in a press conference a couple weeks ago. Like, I've never had a team that started off leading the league and then went to the bottom of the league, and now we're kind of climbing back up. So we've got good shooters. It's just focus, routine, breathing. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. We just kind of got back to our roots and got back to basics with it.
Yeah, in the last 3 losses, what would you pinpoint as the reason for y'all inability to put together 2 complete halves of basketball?
Well, I thought we played 2 halves against Arkansas. Thought we played 2 really good halves. We just didn't close the game out right. We had some unfortunate circumstances at the end of the game. But, I mean, we played hard for 2 halves. Missouri, I thought we played the losses. I guess Kentucky we didn't play. We played a good first half, bad second half. What was our loss before that? South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina, we had double-digit leads in both halves. But I thought the Arkansas was just different. Was just different than the other ones.
You at all concerned about your team's belief that they can turn it on when it's needed? Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
A lot of people think that you're dangerous, right? The compliment to you is like, oh, they're going to be a tough out, whatever you get to the postseason. Do you feel like any of that's crept in and like whatever happens now isn't as important as what happens when March Madness starts?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I thought we played one of our best games at Arkansas. I thought we played one of by far our best games all year. So I don't think that's really crept in, or we probably wouldn't have played as well. We probably wouldn't have played as well there. Tomorrow's a big game. There's a lot on the line with the seedings and quad one and senior day and all that sort of thing. So hopefully we'll have that edge and play well tomorrow as well, and as we move forward into the SEC tournament. But I mean, look, there's no like dominant team right now, so I think anybody, got a puncher's chance to get to the second weekend once you get there. But you got to get there, and that's what's disappointing about Arkansas is we had a chance with Arkansas and Alabama to really get some momentum, but also help our seeding big time, and that was what was just unbelievably disappointing about how that game ended.
We asked Darius about the game tomorrow, and first he said they don't think about seedings and stuff, and then he said, well, we can be fifth. So which is the case? Have you talked to them about being fifth? Because it's kind of very complicated. 6 teams within one game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst we can be is ninth. The best we can be is fifth. I mean, if we lose, we're pretty much ninth, I think. I think there's some math to all that, but I'm pretty sure if we lose, we're pretty much ninth. 8th or 9th, doesn't matter. Noon on Thursday. All right. Yeah, but they're going to be 10. They're going to be 10. I'm pretty sure. Look, if we win, we have an outside shot at fifth. There's a bunch of other stuff that has to happen. I mean, there's a bunch of other games that have to play out for that to happen. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's we're in the we're not playing on the first day. Whether you're 5th or 9th, it's more about the matchups than it is anything else. We're going to be in some logjam tie for 5th or logjam tie for 7th or 8th. However it all plays out. And I did tell our guys to say, I mean, look, we are where we are. We've lost some heartbreakers with some, the Arkansas game and some of the other games. But I mean, we didn't take care of business at home either in a couple games. And if we had those games and we had a double-digit lead at South Carolina in both halves, like we did it to ourselves. Now, we've played an unbelievably difficult conference schedule. All right, I think there's 6 teams in the top 25 of the net. We're obviously one of them. The other 5, so you got a chance of 10 total games against those guys, right? We've played 9. The only team we haven't played is Auburn at home. After tomorrow, we will have played Alabama twice, Arkansas twice, Kentucky twice, Tennessee twice, and Auburn once on the road. And the bottom 4 are already set. Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Georgia. We only played each of them once. So we didn't get any of the bottoms twice. So we've played a remarkably difficult conference schedule. maybe the most difficult conference schedule in SEC history. That's not hyperbole, because we hadn't had that many teams in the top 25 most of the time. All right, but you can't lose to Ole Miss at home. Can't do that. You can't blow a double-digit lead at South Carolina. We'd be having a lot different conversation. We'd already have 5th locked up if we had those 2 games, right? You add on the Arkansas game, which you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, the seeding matters, but look, you get what you earn, you get what you deserve, and if you can't take care of business against some of those teams, if you can't, take care of business at home, and Ole Miss had Ruffin at that time. Ole Miss is a good team. They're a good team. They've been playing without Ruffin. That's a totally different team. I know those guys well, and they got a good ball club. I think people don't know this, but Kermit may not want me to say this, but when they were fully healthy, they had everybody in the preseason. They scrimmaged in a close scrimmage, Ohio State, and they beat the brakes off Ohio State, like 17, 20 points. Beat the brakes off of them. So, like, they're a good team, but, they didn't have Joyner when we played them, and Ruffin just killed us. But they're going to come in 12th or 13th in the league. And you can't lose to those guys at home if you're gonna compete for double byes and compete. It's our only quad 3 loss of the season. Everything else we have is a quad 1 or quad 2 loss. And so my point is, with the seeding, that was a long-winded answer. You get what you earn, you get what you deserve. We've played an extremely tough schedule. We've held our own against the top of the best of the schedule, so to speak. But we hadn't held our own to the middle of the bottom of the schedule. And that's why we are where we are.
Coach, you talk about the struggles in late game situations. I mean, how do you go about fixing that? I mean, what's the biggest thing that you think needs to improve to get that where it needs to be?
It's a great question. We've tried different personnel groupings, and we just have the same issues over and over and over again. And I'm at a loss a little bit on how to correct some of them, because we keep making the same mistakes over and over again. We go over it in practice. We continually make the same mistakes, and it's the same people making the same mistakes. And then you sub that person out, you sub somebody else in, and they make their mistake. So it's just like you're trading one issue for another issue. But we're going to keep working on it. We're going to keep practicing. We'll practice a 6-minute game today. That'll be the last thing we do today in practice, is play a 6-minute game. And, we gave up 21 points in the 6-minute game. Our biggest issue in the 6-minute game is not being solid on defense. It's by far our biggest issue. Whether we're reaching, whether we're fouling. We gave up 21 points in the 6-minute game at Arkansas. We gave up 7 free throws where they weren't even shooting. So we didn't even foul a shooter or something around the rim. We gave up 7 free throws. We're just fouling out by half court, fouling way away from the basket. And that's just lack of focus, lack of execution, lack of discipline to do what we need to do. That's what we're hoping to fix. But, look, we had the same issue. We foul at the end of the Arkansas game. We fouled at the end of the South Carolina game, a 3-point shooter. Like, we constantly have the same issues. And so we're just going to keep working on it. And hope ain't a good strategy, but we got to hope we get better at it. Or it's going to bite us here quick. We're running out of opportunities.
You probably just answered it. My thing was awareness. Obviously late in the game, you had that timeout. Do you feel like, okay, I really have to overemphasize all of this stuff, even though I've been with this dude for 3 years? I've coached this guy, X number of times about this situation. Is it kind of another reset for you that, all right, I'm going to have to spell it out for him here?
Yeah, it's what we work on it. Like, I didn't use the timeout at the end against Arkansas because I felt we weren't going to get a better shot than Pinson trying to lay it in. We have a play there. We knew what we were doing. Efton set a good screen. But we try to save our timeouts for down the stretch. We are going to need to use our timeouts. I try to save them for offense because we struggle so much offensively. But we do have to remind every little detail defensively and making sure that we do what we need to do defensively, and we don't foul and we don't reach and we don't just run off and and trap, and that we can seal off the weak side on the rebound. There's just a lot of little things, and the other part of it is, we've got to make some plays on offense. We don't make enough plays offensively. We got to do a better job making some plays on offense.
Have you started saving your timeouts to advance the ball? That was one of the just kind
No,
of.
you can't, that's only women's basketball.
Oh.
You can't do that in our
Thank
game. I wish you could. If we could have done that, we'd have called timeout and advanced it. But you can't do that. Be a good rule change, along with changing a few other rules. But that would be a good rule change. Huh? We good?